G'day, trendsetters. Before I kick off with today's video, first a word from the video sponsor, the Pros Closet. The holiday season is fast approaching, and that means the cycling-minded people in your life might appreciate a gift, such as a new bike, kit, helmet, and more. The Pros Closet can help you out across the board with all manner of goodies. They've got 600 plus bikes in stock, ready to ship to your front door in an expedient manner for freebies if you use my coupon code on screen right now or in the description box below. Okay, time to get back to my ride and this video. G'day trendsetters, I'm John with Gravel Cyclist, and I'm coming to you today with a video about one of my personal bikes. It's not the world's only titanium huffy cyclocross bike. Rather, it's a late 1990s Litespeed Appellation. I featured this briefly on the Gravel Cyclist Instagram account, and I have to give kudos to a few of the fans who watched that account. Several of you knew exactly what it was, so I guess you zoomed in on the photographs and saw the Litespeed badge on the head tube. I also want to give kudos to the gentleman who chimed in that he built at least 70 of these bikes when he worked for Litespeed in the late 1990s. It's a very fine titanium frame. Don't remember exactly when I purchased this frame, but it was around 2007. It wasn't in the greatest shape. I spent a lot of time polishing it with the Dremel, that kind of thing. It looks a bit better nowadays. It's gone through many changes since I built it originally. In fact, this is the third bike that I've built for the gravelly roads less traveled. Back then, there was no such thing as a gravel bike. We all rode around on cyclocross bikes and managed to do well, amazing, without disc brakes, equally amazing, cantilever brakes. Ironically, the very first bike I had for the gravelly roads less travel was a 2005 Trek Fuel 98 full suspension mountain bike, which I quickly found out was the wrong tool for the job. Some bloke came on to one of our nighttime ass-kicking rides and beat us down. We all said we're riding the wrong bike. He had a very light, very fast cyclocross bike, so we all started an arms race here in Gainesville, Florida, building up some crazy bikes. The second bike I built, of course, I forget the brand and everything, and if I can find photographs of that bike and remember the details, I'll overlay it post-production. But moving back to this bike here, late 1990s Appellation, as I said, by Litespeed. Originally started off life with an all-mechanical drivetrain by Campagnolo, and Campagnolo was not producing anything for cyclocross at the time, so I was running square taper Campagnolo cranks. So what I did was, I took an FSA 46 tooth chainring for Shimano 5-bolt pattern, took the Dremel tool to it, modified it, and got it to work with Campagnolo. That's the sort of things we had to do back then. We had to mess with bikes, modify things to get them to work. Like I said, it's changed quite a bit. When Ultegra by Shimano released their original Di2 system for Ultegra, which was the second version of Di2 released, it was also the first version of E-Tube. And you might notice the derailleurs are quite bulbous, quite large. They're designed for 10 speed. We've come quite a way. I don't remember exactly when Ultegra Di2 10 speed was launched. I'll overlay it above. But it was significant and a bit of a game changer for me because I could run an extra shifter. Now, I like to ride from the tops of the handlebars. This satellite shifter, which is Shimano's climbing shifter, there was no sprint shifters back then, allowed me to ride the tops and change my gears. So, starting off right at the front, you've got a Kestrel EMS Pro handlebar, 42 centimeters outside to outside. Kestrel has been a long name in cycling. I think they were based out of somewhere near Santa Cruz, California. Been a long time Kestrel fan from when they were producing frames in the United States. Ultegra 10 speed, they also do 11 speed, bit of switches, rim brake, Di2 shifters. I've also got TRP cross top, so you can feather the brakes and so on, just relaxing up there. Cantilever brakes. I've used many brakes over the years, but the current iteration is never going to change probably, is the Avid Shorty Ultimate, which I think is the greatest cantilever brake of all time. Super easy to set up and adjust. 1 1/8" straight steerer tube, Chris King headset in red. Chris King makes the best headsets. I don't care what you say. Amazing. And this is an Eastern EC90X, X being for cross. Fork, obviously for cantilever brakes, and there was no through axles back then. Everything was 9mm quick release. And these wheels are Stan's no tube rims, Alpha 340s. And I had them built locally by a bike shop in town, Gainesville, Florida, Bikes and More. Good guys and girls. XTR hubs. You're thinking, why XTR? Well, XTR is like the equivalent of Dura-Ace, and I like those high-end components. So XTR front, 32 spokes on the front, 32 spokes on the rear, because this frame might have been custom ordered. It has a 135 rear end, so I had to find XTR hubs. King titanium bottle cages. Goes well with a titanium frame, I think. The latest crankset I have here is by Rota 3D. Made in Spain, 46-34 chainrings. Perfect. 46 is my favorite size chainring for riding the gravelly roads less traveled. XTR pedals, the latest 9100 short axle XTR pedals by Shimano. You can probably see a theme here. XTR features prominently. The stem, Ritchie WCS in 110. Nothing rocket science, bomb-proof. Ritchie makes some fantastic parts, and obviously, being cantilever brakes, there's a cable hanger and the brake dangle, dongle, etc. above the brakes themselves. Moving to the rear end, another Ritchie seat post, WCS, and there's my Garmin Varia radar, which I always never leave home without it. Bottom bracket is by Rota, say BB30, so oversized external cups, that sort of thing. Front derailleur, Ultegra Di2, original 10-speed version. Very bulbous, but it works perfectly, even years later. And the rear derailleur, the matching Ultegra Di2. This being 10-speed, and I love 2x and also love a really tight cassette ratio. That is a 12-25, so nice tight cassette, not a lot of gaps. Seat clamp is by Hope of the UK. They make some amazingly tasty stuff as well. Saddle, the Physique Arione. I'm likely going to swap over to the Ergon SR Men's Pro. I love Ergon saddles. And how could I forget the tyres? Panaracer Gravel King SK. When I first built this bike, I was running the Michelin Jet because there was no other tyres around that did the job. Michelin Jet was not tubeless, but we made it tubeless. It measured about 33-34 millimeters. It was a clincher. Made great tubeless, ironically. Now I've got a Panaracer Gravel King SK in 700C by 38 millimeters, orange seal endurance formula, sealant inside. Beautiful. And because this is from a time when Shimano Di2 didn't internalize anything, the battery for the system is sitting beneath the front bottle cage. And all of the Di2 wiring is run externally, so there's tape, which was made by Shimano to run the Di2 wiring, and it's all hidden away beneath the tape, sort of. It's not the best, but it's been bomb-proof, reliable ever since I built this bike. And here's some video of this bike in action from several years ago. I recently got this bike up and running again because I wanted to ride it at night time. I really love riding this bike. It's very fast, svelte, love the tight gearing like I mentioned earlier. And whilst I review a lot of bikes, it's difficult to often capture footage of those bikes at night time. So I will ride them, but not a lot of filming opportunities. The one thing I might change later on is the handlebar. It's quite deep, the drop. I can't believe I used to ride deep drops like this, but that's how it was. So shallow drop might be in the future. So it's been in a constant evolving process for this pretend Huffy. And you might be wondering, why does it wear a Huffy sticker? Well, there was a time when I used to commute quite a bit around town. I don't always do that, admittedly. Sorry, trendsetters. But sometimes I park the bike, so I want it to be somewhat incognito. So it wears a Huffy sticker in the hope that no one's going to steal it. I love this bike. Oh, hello dogs. All right, so there you have it. My Huffy Litespeed Appalachian titanium cyclocross bike that I use pretty much at night time with cantilever brakes. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the Gravel Cyclist YouTube channel for interesting content such as this. No bullshit gravel bike reviews, ride experience videos, and other madness such as these dogs. Yes. Well, I've lost my train of thought. Oh yes, okay, I'll see you, and you I guess as well, in the next video.